what people don't know was Puff was putting a battery in Wolf back, talking about, I don't need you no more.
Sean Diddy Combs has resurfaced, but this time for all the wrong reasons, according to allegations made by his former security, Gene Deal. According to Deal, Diddy fired Wolf when he felt betrayed by his second security. Can you give me the specifics? What is it? There's no doubt that this was a night that posterity will remember. The whole hip-hop community was shocked and saddened by the drive-by shooting death of Notorious B.I.G., one of the most famous rappers of his age. Unfortunately, most people missed the news that another person named Wolf also passed away that night.
He got his nickname Wolf. Then we will speak about his early runnings with the law and the jail time he would do before he became Bad Boy Records CEO. Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Former Diddy bodyguard Gene Deal says Wolf wasn't the intended victim on a fateful night in question. Instead, he was caught in the crossfire when Wolf opened fire to save Biggie's life and shelter him from danger, sparking a violent fight between Big Meech and his associates, who were purportedly ordered by Diddy to remove Biggie from the picture. Sadly, he lost his life because he was caught in the crossfire despite his dedication.
But the dude who got close to Wolf was the dude who killed him that he put down with BMF.
What then caused Wolf's death to occur so suddenly? Gene Deal claims that Diddy had grown bored of Wolf and wanted him replaced as his security even before the incident occurred. Yet Wolf, who couldn't survive without a steady paycheck, insisted on remaining put. Diddy became so enraged that he held a gun to Wolf's back and ordered him to leave, saying he would never be welcome back.
I don't need you no more. When I do this Universal deal, I'm gonna give you $300,000 and leave you the fuck alone. Wolf said you could never leave.
But how did we verify this to be correct? Well, we have an eyewitness to the whole thing in Gene Deal, who has publicly stated that Puffy, aka Diddy, had a party at Meech's after he was released from police custody in connection with Biggie's murder. Read what he has to say about it.
Something gotta change. I don't give a fuck if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail.
We think you should hear out some more scary things Gene has disclosed about that night as well. Now we know that Christopher Wallace, better known by his stage as the Notorious B.I.G., was riding shotgun in a Chevy Suburban after leaving a party at the prestigious Peterson Automotive Museum on a terrible night in 1997. Thanks to records released by the FBI, a Chevrolet SS Impala pulled up next to them as they waited for the light to turn green. A hail of gunshots exploded from the Impala at that very moment, striking Wallace 4 times. He was taken to a local hospital, but sadly he passed away within the hour. The autopsy report, which wasn't made public until 2012, confirmed the high number of gunshot wounds he had sustained. Amazingly, the crime's unanswered questions remain unanswered to this day. So fast forward to the present day, as of late new evidence has emerged in relation to the probe. During an interview with a YouTube site called The Art of Conversation, Diddy's former bodyguard Deal says he and Sean Combs, popularly known as Diddy, shared a different kind of Chevy Suburban. He explained what happened that night from his perspective, providing new insight into a long-standing mystery. When asked about the popular idea that Biggie died in a drive-by shooting, guest speaker Gene Deal from the Art of Conversation event said that the automobile had been waiting all night for the MC to come. As he sees it, it just hurts because they lied too much. A lot of that shit be lying the way they put it together caused they listening to these white boys who wasn't even there. I don't want to make this racial, but they take these white boys who wasn't even there and want to use the stories that they want to tell, which is not the truth. Wasn't no drive-by, the car was standing there at the corner. The stories they tell is not truthful, and now people are sitting here believing. However, a former LAPD officer who was involved in the cases of Biggie Smalls, Christopher Wallace, and Tupac Shakur's murders has come out to say that he has the killer's identities. Despite the seemingly endless number of films that have been made about the two murders, the truth is that no one was ever formally charged in either case. This has left some people wondering what exactly happened. Greg Carding, a former police officer who worked in the robbery homicide unit, claims he can finally put a stop to the rumors.
The link between the two cases was this history of violence that had been taking place between members of Bad Boy Records and their Trip Entourage, and then the members of Death Row Records.
Right, Kading said that Orlando Anderson killed Tupac Shakur in an interview with Vice. Kading claimed that Sean Combs knew drug dealer Eric Martin, who in turn got his drugs from West Coast Crip gang member Keith Ed. Anderson, the nephew of Keith Ed, was involved in the brawl that led to Tupac's death. A white Cadillac came up next to Tupac's automobile, and Anderson, according to Kading, was in the back seat.
The key figures in the murders of Biggie and Tupac are, of course, their labels, headed by Sean Combs, which is Bad Boy, Biggie's label.
Kading added that Anderson was murdered in 1998 in Compton over an unpaid drug debt. Kading thought charges would have been brought against Anderson if he hadn't passed away. Kading further asserted that Poochie, a Suge Knight associate, was responsible for the shooting death of Biggie Smalls. Compton native and Blood Gang member Poochie was paid by Suge Knight to locate Biggie and wait for him outside the Peterson Car Museum. He then stopped his automobile next to Biggie's and opened fire. Yet, the question remains as to Poochie's introduction. Right, Kading claims that a friend of Suge Knight recruited the notorious gang member and gunman Poochie to assassinate Biggie Smalls. Kading hypothesized that Poochie might not have acted alone and might have had backers. Poochie was innocent because he was murdered in 2002. Kading also mentioned the 1998 drug debt confrontation that resulted in the death of Orlando Anderson, the man he held responsible for the death of Tupac Shakur. Kading is convinced that, had they been alive, Anderson and Poochie would have been charged. So, did Diddy actually have assassins assassinate Tupac? Greg Carding, who worked on the case for 3 years, claims that during the highly famous rap war between himself and Biggie, Sean Puff Daddy Combs put a $1 million hit on both Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight. According to Carding, Combs was well connected to the local gang scene, and he hired Crips member Dwayne Keith Kev D. Davis to commit the murder. Yet, there were accusations that Diddy's plan to eliminate Tupac was known to Faith Evans, who was married to Biggie Smalls at the time. After the death of the West Coast rapper, Kev D claims he phoned Diddy and Evans to tell them they were to blame. That settles that. And, of course, it's a terrifying tale that illustrates how even those who are meant to have your back may betray you in an instant in this competitive market. Wolf's tale of selflessness in the face of danger is terrible, but it also has an undeniable fascination. Perhaps it's Gene Deal's urgent and intense delivery that captures your attention and holds it until the very end. Deal may have been compelled to tell the truth about Wolf's death since he worked with him and came to view Wolf as the brother he never had. However, the inquiry into the death of the notorious B.I.G., aka Christopher Wallace, has not yet been concluded, and the details of his death remain a mystery. Several theories and speculations have been put up over the years, including an alleged rivalry between East Coast and West Coast musicians and a probable link to the 1996 murder of another notable rapper, Tupac Shakur. Both cases have received extensive scrutiny by multiple law enforcement authorities, but no definitive evidence has been uncovered as of yet. While the deaths of both Wallace and Shakur have had a deep impression on the music business and its fans, they are still remembered as two of the greatest rappers of all time. And that's it from us today. Until next time, bye.